BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
What's up, Tiger Nation? Welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk TV. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and turn on those notifications because you don't want to miss a single upcoming episode. We're on the Apple Podcast app, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. So be sure to follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. And remember, when you support Tiger Talk TV, it all helps the cause, which is the I love Jackson State University. All right, back with another Jackson State Lady Tiger. Couldn't wait to get her on the show because she plays my position. Point guard, captain, leader. I love it. J5, Jaileyah Cotton. Welcome to Tiger Talk TV. Finally, we finally got you.
Yes.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, can't complain. Can't complain. We're happy to have you on the team. You've been a blast. You've been so much fun to watch. So we want to kind of dive into your story, get some background, and just kind of get your thoughts on the season, the team, and everything, if that's okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, all right. Start us off with a fun fact. Tell us something about J5 that we probably don't know.
Fun fact. I would just say, well, I don't know if this is a fun fact or something you don't know, but it's kind of like an embarrassing thing.
I love it. I love it. That's what I really want. Embarrassing. Let's do it. Let's go.
I have the most tickets in my family.
The most tickets, speeding
Tickets,
tickets.
speeding tickets. Yes, I'm a speeder. I know I've been to like two. I've had two driving courses online. I finished one and then I got a ticket, so I had another one like a couple months later.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah, that's probably something a lot of people
So,
don't
so
know.
what is it about speeding? You just don't pay attention to the speedometer. You just it's a thrill, or like what is it? You don't learn your lesson. Like
See, here lately, I've been learning. I actually did get a speeding ticket in Jackson, and I've only been here for a little bit of time, but I don't know. I grew up watching my stepdad. He sped a lot on the road. When we're going to AAU tournaments and stuff. He
okay,
just sped all the time. So I started driving. I'm like, oh, let me speed. But as I'm getting older, I'm learning that it's not it's
yeah,
not something you
yeah,
want to do.
yeah, that's not cool. But kudos to you for coming on air and admitting that and revealing that. Because most people would have hid that.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
mom
you gotta
be
do. You got. We
I
gotta do
try to
better.
hide it from my mama, but she always know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, when I first moved from Mississippi to Florida and I got a speeding ticket, everything was still my address and everything, even though my license was still back home. So they sent all the information to her. She found out you got a ticket. I'm all the way in Florida.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah. So that stopped me. That pretty much stopped me from speeding right there.
yeah.
All right, cool. So let's get into it. Jackson State Tiger, point guard. We're gonna get to the JSU, but let's take it back. Let's start from the beginning. Talk about your upbringing, starting with where you're from.
Okay, I'm from Bardstown, Kentucky, born and raised. Both my parents are from Bardstown. My grandparents are from Bardstown. So definitely got some deep roots there. I'm my mom's only child, and then my
Mm,
dad, I have a younger sister. And me and him are, I mean, me and her are my dad's only two. Um, I mean, growing up, I grew up with a lot of boys. My
okay.
aunt has three sons, so I grew up with them. My uncle has four daughters, so I grew up with them too. I was like the one that didn't have any siblings, so I
Mm.
just bounced around from house to house. Um, you know,
Cousins.
just with the
They were
cousins.
probably like your siblings though, right?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely just like them. Yeah, been playing basketball since I was about 3. I played at
Wow.
Upper League. Yeah, I played with all boys And then I started growing up, played rec leagues and stuff like that. Then third grade, probably took it more serious. I started AAU, and from then on, it's just been basketball. I also played soccer and
Okay.
ran track. I was really good at soccer actually. My high school, I played soccer my junior and senior year. Um, and I mean, I was good. We made it to the Final Four in soccer. Had 3 goals in like the Final Four game. So that was a fun experience. Yeah, I was pretty good in track too. I did 200, 100, and long jump. So yeah.
Multi-sport athlete. How did you settle in on basketball and decide that that's the route that you wanted to go? Or did the decision just make itself because that's where you were best at and that's where you got the offers?
Really, I just let it come to me because I mean, I liked all the sports I played, but basketball probably the environment of it brought the most excitement to me. And since I was in fourth, fifth grade, my mom was like, gotta get to college for free.
Hmm.
And that's just really what pushed me to go hard in basketball, like take that the most serious. I knew a lot of people who, went to college for basketball. I didn't really know a lot of athletes who ran track in college or played soccer. So basketball was like what I know is going to get me to college for free. So I just really honed in on that and went from there.
Yeah. I know Kentucky is a big basketball state on the college level. Does that trickle down to the youth level in high school? I know college because of, the Wildcats and then the rivalry with Louisville and Indiana.
I think it does trickle down. Like in Kentucky, we have a big state tournament, and it's all the schools in Kentucky that if you make it to state, you play each other. So I think it's a very competitive sport in Kentucky. Um, Growing up, I personally never made it to state,
Mm.
but I've been to a lot of state games at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky, and yeah, I will say it's pretty competitive. A lot of good athletes in Kentucky.
So you said you started playing at the age of 3. Do you remember how old you were when you kind of realized you were pretty good at it though?
I would say 3.
So you knew right away? You were that
Yeah,
aware? Like I'm
I
good at I'm 3, but
like
I know I'm good at this.
yeah, like I said, I play with all boys, so just being the only girl is like I had
Mm,
no choice but to think I was the best.
mm,
But right away, I kind of knew that it's something that I can be really good at. Me and my dad would go to like my primary school and just shoot and do like little cone drills and things like that when I was really young, like 5 and 6. So um, that's when I knew I was gonna be good at least.
and
Yeah.
go back to those high school days. Rep that high school and just talk about that experience.
Yeah. So I started playing high school in 7th grade. So I was
On the varsity?
on varsity. I was
Wow.
starting varsity in 7th grade in Kentucky, yes. And I remember I was like 11 at the time, and I'm playing with 18-year-olds, and that was definitely an experience. I think I've grown a lot though. Those So from 7th grade all the way to my 12th grade year, I played for the same high school, never moved, never thought to move. Like I said, I was born and raised in Barstown, so that
Mm,
was my home. Um, but yeah, play with a lot of different people too in those 6 years.
mhm.
Got to experience a lot of things. So yeah.
Yeah, I bet. What do you remember about your performance against the well-known Sacred Heart Academy team? You had a double-double, 38 and 12.
Yes. That was definitely a fun game. I remember I still watch the video like it was
Okay,
yesterday.
still got it.
Yeah. Definitely an experience. Really, Sacred Heart is top dogs in Kentucky.
Mhm, mhm,
They have Zakiya Johnson now, who I play with also in
mhm,
AAU. She's going to LSU.
mhm,
Very, very good player. Josie Gilvin, she goes to WKU. Me and her are really good team, really good friends. We played AAU together as well, and she went to Sacred Heart. So it was kind of already like that little rival, like friendship rival. But yeah, I mean that game was unbelievable. The gym was packed. Like I said, Sacred Heart, top dogs. Just going in like not with the underdog mindset, honestly, like the mindset as we can beat them just like any other team. Like um it's basketball at the end of the day,
Mhm,
and I think that's really what got me locked in is just don't fear them as like the
mhm,
higher dogs. Like I can hoop just like they can hoop,
mhm.
and so can my teammates. And I think just relaxing and just playing my game. That's what happened.
You relaxed and played your game. 38 points. 38 points. I mean, you can score the ball too, huh?
Yeah, I can score a little bit.
Okay, man, 38. Being a pass first guard, just being a point guard, what goes into your decision to want to take over a game offensively like that? Is it just based on the team need, the matchup, just the feel for that particular game, or you're just hot and it is what it is?
I definitely think is what the team needs. Like you said, I am a pass guard. I'm a pass first guard. So my main role is to create for my teammates and get them the ball. But sometimes like I know I can go get it, and
Mhm,
I think that's just really what I'll do when I know I need to go score or I can score and or maybe it's just my night. It really just depends on the flow of the game and like I said, what my team needs.
mhm. Yeah,
Mm,
we've seen you do that for Jackson State a time or two and
yeah.
kind of stagnant on offense, struggling, especially on the road, second half. And you come the first half too, but you come through with the clutch threes. So yeah, we definitely see you got it in you. But the 12 boards, you can get in there and mix it up too.
Yeah, I can mix it up a little bit. uh I kind of think myself like I said, I'm a multi-sport athlete. So
Mm.
when the jumping and stuff, I think track helped play a
Oh,
part
okay,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I think I got some hops low key in practice. I'd be telling them like,
Mm,
throw me one on up. I could get it.
okay. Talk about your recruitment coming out of high school.
It was fun. Um, I had different offers, especially within Kentucky, WKU,
Mm,
NKU, Kentucky.
mm,
Um, so I had some in state, and then I had a couple out of state in Tennessee. I had East Tennessee, that's where I went straight out of
mhm,
high school. Middle Tennessee, Chattanooga.
mm,
So just some schools like
yeah,
that too. Yeah. I remember though, like COVID was like still around in 2022. So
okay.
I remember getting a couple calls. It's like, hey, we're gonna have this senior stay another year as a PG.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can come, but like
Mhm,
like I said, they're always gonna take the more experienced player, which I
mhm.
understood 100%. Um, so a couple of my options like kind of narrowed down just because of the fact that a lot of people were staying in college because of COVID.
Mhm.
Um, but East Tennessee was my first choice out of high school.
And why East Tennessee?
I really enjoyed my head coach at the time. He did end up getting fired before season started rolling around, but
Before your
uh,
freshman season?
yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
remember we were there. I was in Tennessee for probably 2 weeks, maybe not even two. And they brought us into the office. There's like people with, they got their pantsuits on and
Mm.
briefcases and
Serious?
yeah, they meant business. And
Like,
here
what's
I
going
am,
on?
like a 17-year-old kid. I
Yeah.
couldn't even sign my own forms yet in college. And they're like, yeah, y'all's coach is fired.
Man,
But you
I can imagine. I can imagine
right.
how that feels. Because as an adult, you don't want to get called in the office at work and everybody coming in with the suits and ties and briefcases, even as a grown-up. So at 17, I know you're like, "What's going on?"
Yes, for sure, and it was kinda like, you can enter the portal if you want to, or you can stay. I'm like, "Enter the portal? I just got here." I didn't know anything about no transfer portal or anything, so and there was 5 of us freshmen actually that came in
Man,
together
that's
my
no big
freshman year.
class.
Yeah. So, I mean, we kinda had a freshman meeting on the side,
Okay.
and it's like, "What we gonna do?" But
Mhm.
we all stayed together, so,
Okay. Talk
yeah.
about the new coach coming in, because obviously it could be a different system, a different philosophy, and wanting to bring in his or her own players. So did your game and what you brought to the table mesh with the vision of the new staff?
Yeah, it did. So, originally when I went to ETSU, I wanted to play for a man, which is
Mhm,
another reason why I chose to go there. But the new coach came in, she was a woman. But just at first, you expect like kind of like, I don't know if I like it. All of us were giving her the mean look.
mhm.
Like, we don't
Understood.
know this woman. She didn't recruit any of us. But it ended up being a really good season. We won 25 games that season, like straight out the bat with her.
Mm,
the playing style was just what I liked. Play fast, pressing and all that. So it was a good season. Turned out really well.
What was the most memorable game from your time there?
When we beat Vanderbilt at home, that was some fun right there.
What do you remember about it?
Just, obviously Vandy is a bigger school. The prep for it was definitely intense. But I think we went into that game knowing that we could win.
Mhm.
Just like I mentioned with in my high school times, like
Earlier,
just
yeah.
just going into it knowing like it's basketball at the end of the day and you can hoop with anybody. And I think that and just the intensity of the game, it was a different speed with them, obviously, and just being able to like keep up with them and we're scoring well and it was just a really fun night. And then the fans and
Mhm.
everything else after was great.
I bet. I bet. You spent 2 seasons there, and it looks like you improved from year one to year two. You started more games in year two. Looks like things were looking up. What made you decide to leave after 2 seasons?
I just kind of wanted to get out more, see what else I had in store. We actually had a lot of people into the portal. We had I think 8 or 9 of us leave. We had a
Oh, okay.
couple seniors, and then
Mhm.
I think there was 2 seniors, and then 6 of us hit the portal. And
Mm,
then both of the coaches that were there that recruited me had left too.
mhm,
So I left, I hit the portal, started talking to Coach Price.
mhm,
I was actually talking to Coach Price back at Marshall, but he was still in Marshall. And then he was moving around and he was like, just be patient with me. Like, we're gonna find something. And then I remember he called me one day. He was like, "What you think about Mississippi?" I was like, "Mississippi?
mhm,
I ain't never been to Mississippi."
mhm,
And he was like, "Well, what you think?" I was like, "What you got planned?"
mhm.
And then he was like, "I'm gonna have the head coach call you." And the next day, Coach Richards called me and like we clicked from the first hey, like it's like I've known him my whole life. So
Mhm.
that's how I got here.
Talk about some of those initial conversations with Coach Richards. I know getting you solved a big piece of the puzzle for her because she had to solidify that point guard position.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we clicked from the time I answered the phone. I mean, when you first talk to a head coach, it's kind of nerve-wracking sometimes. But with Coach Richards, like she was just her normal self too, like just so welcoming and open with me. And I told her what I wanted in a coach, and I think
Mhm,
that's what was the most important thing for me. I wanted a coach who viewed her players as people first and that's one thing like Coach Richards shown from day one. Like she cares about us as people first. Like if something was to happen to me today and I couldn't dribble a ball anymore, like how would she treat me as a
mm,
human? And
mhm.
I mean, I've played for her so far and it's been nothing but love off and on the court. So that was something that I really took serious with her. Other than that, I asked her like her coaching philosophy, like how she wants to play. I mean, and it was everything I wanted. Like a bow tie was right on top of it.
Did you realize at the time how big of a piece of the puzzle you would be? Did she flat out tell you, or did you realize it once you got there?
I kind of realized it as time went on. When she told me she was looking for a PG, I was really excited. Like as you can see, like my time at ETSU, I started some games, I didn't
Mhm,
start. But I wanted a bigger role. And I knew that playing for a coach like Coach Richards and playing for, a newer team would give me the opportunity to work for the
mhm.
role that I wanted. And that's what happened.
And prior to the recruitment, were you familiar with Jackson State at all? Were you familiar with the program, the school, the conference?
Uh, I actually watched the JSU game against UConn.
Okay.
But other than that, I never watched Jackson State. I've heard of them, obviously Dion and the
Mhm,
football team and stuff. And I knew that their women's program was really good. But once I came on the visit, like actually seeing it all the love that their women's basketball team had, I think that's something that I really enjoyed too. Just seeing the love of people showing Coach Richards, and she just got there. So I knew like this was the place to be.
So you saw that on the visit. Give me a little
Yes,
bit more
sir.
about that. Love from like fans, administration. Like, how did you know that basketball was a big deal there and people throughout the community really loved it?
Well, I did a little research before I came.
Mhm.
Well, my stepdad really did the research, and we just, watched her welcoming and
Okay.
coming,
Yep.
and watched all that. And then, honestly, we were on. I went out to dinner twice with Coach Richards and the staff and my parents. And first time, like some random people paid for our meal.
Mm.
They're like, "Welcome to Jackson. Hope you
Wow.
come." And it was
Wow.
just like these people don't even know me. All they
Mhm.
knew was I was on a visit to play
Mm.
for Jackson State women's basketball. That's all they knew. Didn't even know my name or anything. And they just paid for our dinner. And it was just like, whoa. And
Mm.
then I remember one guy coming up to me like, "Welcome to Mississippi. Like, we really hope you like it. If you ever need anything and you come to Jackson, like, we got you." And I'm like, "Thank you." And I don't even know these people. Like, it was just so genuine here.
Wow, it's awesome hearing that. These are things that I know because obviously I'm from here, but people who aren't from here, especially further away, have a perception. And even you're from Kentucky and you literally lived in Tennessee for 2 years. But when you first heard Mississippi, you're like, Mississippi? And it's like right down the street from where you were.
Right.
So now, what's your impression of Mississippi? At first, it was like Mississippi. I don't know, but
Right. It
now that you hear it
definitely was.
6 months later or however many months later, what's your thoughts?
It feels like home already,
Mhm.
honestly. Like the Southern hospitality here. I don't even want to say Southern, like the hospitality in general is, like I said, very genuine, very welcoming. From anywhere I go, like grocery store, if I got a JSU shirt on, I mean, everybody's like, "OMG, like I
Mhm.
want to catch a game. I love y'all. Like y'all are doing so great." It's just a lot of love. Mississippi in general, I love that it's not as cold
Yeah.
at home. Like
Mhm.
at home, it was cold in September. We're still wearing shorts here in September,
Mhm.
so I really enjoy that too. But yeah,
Yeah. You talked about wanting to have a bigger role and being a part of a new team could kind of fit in with your goals. So once you actually got here and you became a part of a complete roster rebuild and getting to know everyone who's brand new, what was that like?
uh, I enjoyed it. Knowing that we all came and chose to come here for different reasons really it brought like a sense of belonging here. Like we chose to play for Coach Richards, and like I said, we all came from different places and points of life. We got freshmen straight out of high school, we got grads that been out of school for 4 years, we got players from JUCO, like I and then we got some coming from NAIA D2 D1. Like I really enjoyed the fact that these were going to be my teammates from different walks of life. Um, Coming in, there was 4 PGs at first.
Yep.
So that was kind of like, God, like I'm gonna have to work, like
Mhm.
I knew this position was something that I wanted, and I also knew that it wasn't just gonna be handed to me. And that's something that me and Coach Richards taught from day one. Like this will not be handed to you. Like you will earn whatever you're given. And but I think the summer was so fun. Being in the gym, just learning my teammates, playing pickup, early workouts, like it was very enjoyable.
Mhm.
Definitely some good memories.
Why do you think this team gelled so fast?
I think that goes back to the fact that uh we really chose to be here. And like I said, we just come from different walks of life, and just being able to connect on a level outside of basketball and understanding each other outside of basketball allowed us to, understand each other a little bit more on the court and learn each other's game.
Mhm. When you first saw the schedule, you saw that you'd be playing your former team, ETSU. What were you thinking?
To be honest, I knew before I even committed here that
Okay.
Jackson State.
You knew. Okay. How'd you know? Oh, you knew from that end or you knew from
I,
this
kn-
end?
well, I knew from this end. I got in the car out of the airport, and I got in the car with Coach Richards, and she was smiling, just looking
Okay.
at me.
Okay.
I'm like, What's up? She's like, if you come here, you get to play your old school. I mean, that's like one of the first things we talked about when I
Okay.
got in the car.
Okay.
And I was like, ETSU? She's like, yeah, we're playing them. And so I guess that's something they had just like
Mhm.
established, but she was so excited to tell me. And then from that moment on, I'm walking around campus and all I can think about is like, I gotta get back on my old school.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, I gotta get back. So it's just like it was at first I was like, OMG, but from the time she told me, it was like circled in my head, like
Mhm.
ETSU, like when is it? I was asking when it was as soon as I committed. But yeah, and I made sure my teammates knew, everybody
Mhm.
knew that we going up there and we're getting a win. There's no other options.
Man, so how did it feel once you got back there in that environment and seeing some friends and familiar faces?
I definitely was a little emotional. I'm not gonna
Mm,
lie. I got in Tennessee in Johnson City, and like that was my first college home. So just seeing some of the things, some of my old teammates, just brought back some memories. But I felt at peace with it because I knew like I was somewhere else that I'm truly happy at, and
mhm.
just being able to go in there and get the win. Oh, it's a feeling I can't even explain.
Talk about that win. Y'all pulled it out. I remember watching that game on my phone as we were leaving the vet for a football game. As a matter of fact, we went back to the tailgate. Me, Ken Clark, the whole crew. We're watching the game, plate in one hand, phone in the other hand. And it seems like that game would never end. I don't know if you remember
Oh
like the
yeah.
last 2, 3 minutes. Because I had my food because I thought it was over. And then it just fouls and whistle and reviews. And I'm like, will this game just end, please?
Yes.
Finally, though, you pulled it out. So how did it feel to come away with that win?
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. Like the last 2 minutes of that game felt like a whole quarter itself.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm like, we're right there. Like just let call it already. Um, but I mean, just the energy of that game, like my whole family came. I mean,
Mhm, I
they
bet.
were in the stands. They all had J5 shirts on,
Okay,
and like they were the only fans we had. But I
okay.
mean, they came deep. They had brought a whole van full. My grandma, my grandpa, my mom, my dad, my stepdad, aunts and uncles. Like, I mean, they came deep. So just seeing them there and having their support with my new school, my new decision, and then alongside my teammates knew like how much this game meant to me, and they was 10 toes behind me. Just having that, it just made it such a surreal moment. And I remember after the game, I'm like talking to my old teammates saying, good game, trying not to just,
Mhm.
celebrate in their face. But I'll never forget this moment. I was walking
Yeah.
back to the locker room and Coach Richards was standing right there. I looked at her, and I nodded my head, and she nodded her head at me, and I just screamed, and she just gave me like the tightest hug. And I think that moment right there is something like I'll never forget. I've never had a moment like that after a game. And it was kind of like a yeah, like this is our year.
Mhm.
And it's crazy to say because it was only game two,
Yeah, it
and
was. Mhm.
it was only game 2, and I knew we had a tough schedule ahead of us, but that moment right there, like, the way the team came together, the bench energy was unmatched. I mean, everybody was on their feet, clapping, jumping around, the energy on the court, like, everything felt right,
Mhm.
and like I said, from that moment, I just knew, like, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing you talk about your conversations with Coach Richards about that game, when you first got to the airport and then after you won, because you kind of returned the favor and helped her beat one of her former teams, sort of, kind of, because I was Mercer, the other big road win, because she was there
Yeah.
for a short period of time prior to coming to Jackson State. So definitely interesting. You mentioned that tough road schedule. You got the two big wins again, ETSU, Mercer, but talk about the rest of the non-conference schedule and being on the road for so long and how challenging that was.
It was definitely a challenge. I mean, something that I don't think any of us had ever experienced before. Even coaching staff, 11 games on the road, tough. Flights and everything that all the adversity that came with the flights, and just being in hotels for 3, 4 days at a time. however it works. I think it built us though. It
Mhm,
built us as women.
mm,
Character building is what I like to think of it as. It wasn't easy. I mean, we was getting beat by 20, 30, 40 points. Like,
mhm,
and at times, it makes you question like, what are we doing? Or like, is it worth it? Or, different types of feelings come when you're losing. But I think the whole preseason, like I said, built us for what's about to come.
mhm. Do you think being on the road for so long and playing against those teams, does that bring you closer together more off the court, or does it bring you closer together on the court in terms of gelling and chemistry? Would you say it's about the same?
I think I want to say it's about an even balance, like you see like we're losing, heads is down. Like who picks my head up when my head's down? But we're all feeling the same thing. So I think just having that experience too, like, well, dang, we losing, but I know this my teammate right here, so I'm gonna go pick her up. And then somebody else pours into me and picks me up. But I think that helped gel us together as a unit. And then on the court, you want to win every game, and obviously we didn't win every game. So just learning how to keep going. You keep pushing through even when it's hard. I remember in preseason, we was playing a game on a Saturday. We came in practice early Sunday morning. We're scrimmaging. And like we're like, why are we scrimmaging? We just played a whole game. But
Mhm,
like the little things like that in practice and on the road, like it is building us and built us for now. Like now I feel like practice is a breeze sometimes.
mhm, mhm,
And it's just like without the preseason we had, like we would be we I don't think we would be the same team.
mhm,
14 new people
mhm,
and this type of experience, it's definitely a unique one.
mhm. You talked about becoming somewhat discouraged at times during that stretch, which is understandable. What was the team's overall mentality and confidence level after the non-conference play? Once you could just take a deep breath and say, okay, all right, we got through that. Time for conference play.
Yeah, I think it was just like a reset. We won that big game at Mercer. I think that game at Mercer was kind of like it was the game before we went home for
Mm,
Christmas break.
okay.
So, you're going home for 5 days, okay, we won the last one. We won that one. So having that reset, getting to go home, see family, eat some good food, coming back and it's like, all right, we just got one more before conference. And we played that one more game, and then it was kind of like Coach Richards was like, "It's 0-0, like it's a new
Mhm,
season." And I remember we would just yell like swag time," like
mhm,
it was just like a different feeling. And Coach Richards had given us all I don't actually have mine. She gave us all bracelets that she made for all of us. Everyone's bracelet is different. Everyone's bracelet says something different. And it was when she did that at film, it was kind of like okay, like she sees us, she knows that what we just went through was hard, but she still believes in us. And I think knowing that she believes in us and she's feeding into us just made it all like, yeah, we're ready. Start over.
yeah. How surprised were you at how well you played in the SWAC so soon?
I definitely think the first two for sure. The first, like we won that first one, and then we won another one, and then another one. Those were definitely like, all right, like definitely like we can do this for real. Obviously none of us had never played in the SWAC before, so
Mhm,
none of us knew what the SWAC competition was gonna look like, what the
mhm,
games were gonna look like. I remember before Alcorn, like everyone was like, Alcorn's a hard place to play at. Like
mhm,
it the stand, the fans, the lighting in there, like it's hard to get a win. But when we got that win at Alcorn and then we got our next win, it was just kind of like, don't count us out yet,
mhm.
I know a lot of people probably thought like, oh, 14 new people. Heck, we at
Yeah,
some
yeah,
point we thought like, what we gonna
exactly.
do? But I think us just winning, obviously, because it's preseason we didn't have like those consecutive wins either. But I think that helped build a lot of our confidence too.
Mhm. How would you say the team has gotten better since the beginning of the season up until now?
I think we've gotten better in a lot of ways. Our IQ definitely has gotten better. Coach Richards preaches IQ. We watch a lot of film. We have weekly notes due actually on the games we're about to play. Like for instance, Saturday we play Alcorn, so we had assignments that
Mhm.
she calls. It's like so we had to watch Alcorn versus us the first time, and then we watched Alcorn versus FAMU, and
Mhm.
just like being able to see the game, learn the game, see our mistakes, and learn from our mistakes. Um, I definitely think that has helped us. Um, we have the extra workouts and stuff too. You know, just pouring more into our game individually as well.
And what about you personally? I mentioned earlier how you got better throughout the course of your time at ETSU, but from this season, from the beginning of the season up to now, how do you feel you've personally developed?
I think I've honestly developed all the way around as a young woman, as a PG, just as a student of the game. You know, like I said, I wanted this role, but at first when I got it, I was like, "Oh, this is hard,"
Mhm.
and it like this is me being completely transparent. Like
Mhm.
it was hard, and I think just having having the support from my teammates and the coaching staff as well as the support like from my family and then just confidence really has helped me a long way. Like even I know I don't have to go out there and score 30 for us to win, as
Mhm.
long as I have confidence in myself to be able to deliver passes and set my teammates up for success, then I know we'll be fine.
Mhm.
And again, I think that all comes from the confidence within me.
You told a great story earlier about how the fans welcomed you when you were on the visit. At that point, they didn't know who you were. You weren't even on the team, but they showed you love, embraced you. How consistent has that been since then? Now that you're on the team, how have the fans received you? Do they notice you a lot in public or after games or reach out to you on social media?
Oh, the love has been unmatched. Like I said, when I came here on the visit, I knew that women's basketball meant business. But I mean, everyone calls me J5, like professors, people I
Okay.
don't even know.
Wow.
It's like, hey,
Wow.
J5. And I'm like,
Mm,
hey. It's really a joy to have. I ran into the AD the other day and he's like, my PG. And he
mhm,
like gave me a fist bump and like that's an encounter like I never had before. And I
mm.
mean, there's love everywhere. Like other sports, they come and support us.
Yep.
I mean, it trainers that I don't even know, like it's really unmatched. I really appreciate it all. Like I said, I'll go to the grocery store or something and have JSU women's basketball, and like
Mhm.
people come up like, "OMG, like I love basketball
Wow.
and I need to catch a game. When's your next game?" And all kinds of stuff they add. Like they just congratulate me for just even making it to, this level and this part of my life. So there's very few places I go, and if I don't have a Jackson State shirt on, like,
Mm.
it's very few
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
that don't speak. Mhm.
And you also got an NIL deal when you got to Jackson State. So talk about how surprised you were about that and how special that is for you to be a brand ambassador for KC 1400.
Yeah, I mean, that was very unexpected. I mean, he has shown us so much love and support since day one. I remember they brought us into a circle and they were explaining like what KC 1400 is and things like that. And he, like I said, he just believed in us from day one. And I think him coming that day and giving us all the ambassador position was kind of like, wow, like they really do believe in us and they really do support us. So that was definitely something I appreciated, especially coming like we haven't even played a game yet. I ain't scored a basket for
Hmm.
Jackson State yet, and we all were given the opportunity to have that. So that was definitely appreciated.
Yeah. Shout out to Ken Clark. Shout out to KC
Yes.
1400 Media Group and the KC 1400 Collective. All right. J5, it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed this from
Yes,
PG to
sir.
PG. But I got to do this to you. Got to put you on the hot seat before you go.
Okay.
Got to. Oh
Okay.
my God, you can handle the heat. You got to be able to handle the pressure. So if I do this to anybody, it's got to be my PG.
All right.
We'll play a word association game. Real simple. I'm just gonna name a few people you're familiar with, and you got to give me a one-word response to describe them. One word. That's it.
All
Not two words, not a sentence. One word, and it's rapid fire, so you can't take all day. You're on the shot clock.
right.
Game on the
Okay.
line. 2 seconds.
All right.
All right. Talia Dilworth,
Bucket.
Zaria Glover,
Hilarious.
Diaco Beretti.
Unique.
Okay, I see you. Tierney Kelsey.
Baby. She the baby of the group.
I hope she sees this. Ariana Darrell.
Ooh, ooh, there's so many for AD. I don't even know. Oh, uh, I don't even know. uh, AD is such. I love AD.
That's
OMG,
too
I
many
don't
words.
even.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Come
I
on,
don't know. I
PG. You're
don't
dribbling
know.
too much. You're dribbling too much, PG. Come on, come on. Let's get a shout
Hey,
out.
that one word. One word. Ah,
Shot clock about to expire.
let's just say beautiful because I don't
Okay.
even know. She's very pretty. Let's keep
See,
it.
see that PG tough under pressure. I like that. I like how you got out of that jam.
Yeah.
All right, Massanet.
Ooh, tough. She's
Yeah,
tough.
Ruthie Bourgeois. Don't say tall.
I was honestly thinking soft. Ruthie is very soft girl to me. She talks soft,
Hmm.
but she not soft, but
Okay,
she like yeah, she's like a soft girl, if you know what
okay.
that is.
Yeah, I'll give you a few more words on that one because when you say soft, you want to
Yeah,
clarify.
yeah,
Okay,
I'm a
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you get a pass on that. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Zoe Cooper.
Titi, auntie.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's the
She said that.
auntie. The old head.
Yeah, she said that herself. She admitted that on the show. Okay, Maya Barnes.
Brains. She's very smart.
Okay, the freshman. We haven't seen her, so hopefully next season we will. But Joy.
Joy. Joy is such a joy. Like literally. She really is. We all say joy to the world when we see Joy. Like
Yeah.
he's honestly a joy.
Okay. All right. Jakayla Esco.
Ooh, ooh, Esco. Let's see. I don't even know one word for Esco. She just came in and I don't even know. Superwoman.
Superwoman.
Superwoman. Yeah,
Superwoman.
because
Okay.
she came in and saved the day. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we didn't even one day she's taping ankles, next
Wow.
day she's running sidelines with us. Like, yes,
I love
super.
it. I love it. Okay. I see you, PG. Shalance Montoya.
Ooh,
Kalia.
Kalia. Uh Kalia. Diva. She's a diva.
Really? Okay.
She's a
All
diva.
right. I like that. All right. You did a great job, but you're not done yet. We're going to do the coaches
Oh,
too. You
oh,
stay on the hot
okay.
seat. Don't get up. Coach Margaret Richards. Be careful.
Ah, I know, right? It's like, ah, Coach Richard, she's one of a kind. Okay, one word.
Hmm.
Uh, I want to say like animated. I think some of the things she does
She's
is animated.
1000% animated. That's the word that I use for her. So absolutely, absolutely. I said that to somebody who one of the your teammates. I can't remember, but I said animated. I think it was Zaria I was talking to.
Yeah.
Yep, I called her animated. So okay, Dylan Howard.
No offense, but I would call Coach Howard a grandpa. I
Okay,
ain't gonna lie. Like, if I'm having a bad day or something, I would go to Coach Howard and he'll make me smile. So
That's an endearing term.
yeah,
That's no offense. I'm pretty sure he would love that, accept that. Okay,
yeah.
Alexis Holt.
Ooh, one word. Imma give Coach Holt savior, and
Oh,
that's
okay,
that's just because me and her have such a good relationship. She's seen all of my highs and all of my lows since I've been here, and yeah, she
okay.
like yeah.
Coach Patrick Richardson, aka Certified Bucket Giver on social media.
Coach Pat. I don't even. He's one of a kind too. Coach Pat. I would just say Coach Pat is.
Shot clock. Point guard. Yep. Put you in the fire. You got it.
Yeah. One word. He's unique too.
Okay. Unique. That's what you're going to have. You said unique for somebody else?
I said DB was unique.
Okay.
So
I'll give you that one. Two people can be the same thing.
he's
That's fine.
funny. Coach Pat's
Funny.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, he's funny.
All right. And then Coach K, Katrina Howard.
Coach K. I'm gonna say Coach K. I think the one word to describe her is probably captain.
Captain.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Like without Coach K, she the glue. I don't say that glue
Okay.
because she keeps us rolling. She makes sure we fed.
Yeah.
Make sure we got somewhere to sleep on the road. Like make sure we getting to and from practice on the road.
Okay.
Without Coach K, there's really no us too.
Okay.
So
She makes it happen.
he makes it happen.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good job. Good job. So I left one person out. One player on the team. See if you know who I left out. Who I missed.
Who, me?
J5. One word.
Oh, one word. I think I would just say the engine. And that's just because that's what all my teammates make sure that I know I'm the engine. The engine, it's what keeps it going, Without an engine, the car
Mm-hmm.
can't go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you view us as a car, with my role and position, like we need the engine, and they make sure I know, and they keep the engine, with the oil in it, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whatever the engine needs. I don't know what
Yes.
the engine needs, but
I know what you go. I know what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
they keep me going. They make sure I'm all right. So
All
yeah,
right. Okay. You're off the hot seat. Good
thank
job.
you.
Great job. Great job. No.
Breaking a sweat a little bit.
I left you on there longer than everybody else, but again, you're the point guard. You gotta be able to handle it. You gotta be able to, and you did. You did. All right. Eligibility. Tell me we got you for one more year.
Yes, sir. I
Okay.
have one more
Boom.
year.
Got you for another year. What's your major?
I'm a criminal justice major.
Okay. Life after
Mhm.
basketball. What do you want to do?
I've really been going back and forth. I've been having this urge to want to be a coach here recently.
Okay. Yeah,
So I
I can
think
see
I'm
it.
gonna go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go home and kind of, get with some old coaches of mine and just be around the atmosphere a little on that level and see how I like it. But before that, I wanted to be a defense attorney.
Mm, okay.
Yes.
All right. I
Yes.
like it. I like it. All right. All right.
Yes,
Social
sir.
media. Let the fans know where they can find you on social media. I see Jaileyah.cotton. Is that
Yeah.
Instagram or is that Twitter?
This is my Instagram, Jaileyah.cotton.
Okay. And do you
My
have Twitter
Twitter
X?
is, yes, well, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Jaileyah_C is that.
Okay. So yeah, underscore C.
Yeah.
All right. And
So,
then last but not least, a message for the fans. What do you want to say to the fans? You have the floor.
oh, I am so grateful for you guys. You made my experience thus far very, very good. I appreciate the love and support that you guys show us day in and day out. Without y'all, games would be a bit different.
Hmm.
No, definitely. We go hard, just like we know you guys will go hard for us, and we appreciate that. So yeah.
All right. All right. And there you have it. There you have it. The point guard, the captain, the leader, the engine with the oil and all. J5 in the building. We appreciate it and we wish you all the best the rest of the season and beyond.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Tiger Talk TV is presented by Bet Online.